We're here with Jimmy. He's having a bit of a practice session. What are you working on, Jimmy? So we've got some shots of him hitting some shorter pitch shots from what, 80 metres, 70 metres?
Yeah.
From up there?
Yeah.
Now what are you hitting from here?
Wedge from one.
Do you remember how far?
Yeah, first one's 105, the other one's 114.
105, 114. So what are you working on, mate?
For me?
Yeah. So what are you changing?
I'm not really changing anything. I just need to. These are definitely the scoring clubs in the bag. And if you don't have a good wedge game, then yeah.
And so you got 105 metres. What are you hitting, your pitching wedge?
Yeah, it's in little pitching wedges. Yeah, I'm just trying to get more control because I used to be at like I'll just grab the gappy from here and just give it a whirl and hit it so like not so good.
No. So of course you could swing a normal wedge and hit it what, 115 maybe?
Oh, 120.
Yeah.
120 normal wedge is like no wind, nothing. Full wedge is 120.
So would you recommend for people to, I suppose, back off a wedge a little bit more?
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, definitely with gap wedge, sand wedge, and lob wedge. I don't really hit lob wedge from anywhere. Outside of 50 metres, I don't hit lob wedge unless I got to hit it. One that stops or anything, but yeah, no, you definitely got to.
So you're not hitting a full lob wedge?
No.
Which is probably pretty smart because at the end of the day, all you're really doing when you're swinging a wedge harder is increasing the spin.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and there's not as much control.
No, there's nowhere near as much control. So if you start swinging a little bit harder, if you're back into the wind with a wedge to think maybe I'll hit a harder sand wedge.
Yeah.
To get it to go from, say, your normal sand wedge might be 80 metres, to get it to go an extra 90 metres, let's say.
Yeah.
That extra, I suppose, 10 metres in distance is going to require a lot more speed and a lot more effort, which is only going to increase the spin, which is probably going to not go much further.
Yeah, I feel like when you hit the 3/4 wedges and all that, you can control your flight a lot better.
You can control your flight, correct.
You can like flight it down, flight it up, flight it left to right, flight it right to left. Like it's a lot easier to flight it.
Yep. So I think the biggest thing is, what a lot of people don't realise too, is that having a wedge that launches really high actually doesn't spin it that much. So I think that's where a lot of people misconstrue it. You know, hit the ball in the air, it'll stop. Yeah, it's usually a little bit different. If you can launch a ball somewhere, say 27 to 32 degrees, it's probably going to spin more. So it almost, for most people who hit it really high, it almost feel thin.
Yeah, and I've only been like doing this for the last I had a lesson like a month ago. Yep. And because I used to just I used to be like a pretty good wedge player, then it kind of went to crap for like a month or so, and like I was wondering why, and I went and saw my coach Richard, and yeah, he was just got me to work on a little different feelings through more from like 90 metres and in. Yep. So he just got me working through different feelings, and now it's kind of.
So what would you usually hit from 90 metres?
Now?
Well, let's say before, what would you usually hit?
Sand wedge.
So just a normal sand wedge, and now what are you hitting?
Oh, gap wedge. I hit gap wedge from. I work from like gap wedge. If there's like no wind, no like pins in the middle, don't have to hit anything. Like I'd hit gap wedge from 75 to 95.
So now you're hitting gap wedge from like 90, 95 and stuff like that instead of hitting full sandy.
Yeah, exactly. It's way more control.
It's more control. You can control your launch. You can control your distance. That sounded pure.
Yeah, you can control it way better.
So guys, that's something to think about especially when you're practicing, even when you're playing. You don't always need to hit the club that is for the distance. So if it's 120 metres pitching wedge, you might hit a 9-iron, you might hit an easy 8-iron. Yeah, and you can control it a lot easier.
Yeah, it's all about control.
It's all about control, especially down for your shorter clubs.
Yeah, 100%. As I said, yeah, not like it's from 90 metres in. If you can learn how to hit a gap wedge from 75 metres, that's gonna.
I think it's versatility too, isn't it? So you could hit a gap wedge 115 metres, you could hit it 100 metres, you could hit it 70 metres, and you could work all the way down. So you got 4 or 5 different shots with each wedge. Yeah. Good one. Thanks, James. Enjoy your practice. Did that go in the hole?
No, not quite.
Too bad. Thanks, James. Comment down below on how you practice. If you practice the same as James, if you're working on some shots like James is with his wedges. So, cheers, guys. Wish James the best of luck with his endeavours.